Angels say police are headed to your door. Find out why. God says this is the moment you have been guided toward for so long. Even when you didn't realize you were being led step by step, protected at every turn and watched over by the angels who refuse to leave your side. God says He has been whispering to your soul for days because something around you shifted. A powerful energy moved and Archangel Michael stepped forward with his sword of truth lifted high. He says this is very serious and not because something bad will happen to you but because something hidden is finally coming to light. God says you must not be afraid. You must not panic. You must not lose your peace. You are safe. You are protected. And nothing will go wrong with you. But you must hear this clearly. You must listen with your spirit fully awake. God says the angels have been standing at your door. Not the physical door of your home, but the spiritual door of your destiny. They have surrounded you because something important is unfolding behind the scenes. Something that has been concealed from you for far too long. Archangel Michael says, this is your moment of exposure, revelation, cleansing, and divine justice. He says, you have been too calm, too quiet, too patient with energies that were not aligned with your divine path. But now the heavens are stepping in. Angels say police are headed to your door. Not to harm you or take anything from you, but as a sign of divine order being restored. This is spiritual symbolism. The police represent God's authority moving into your life to remove what has been hurting you in silence. God says you have suffered silently for too long. You have carried the weight of people's shadows on your back. And even when you were exhausted, you still kept going. You kept praying. You kept believing. You kept trusting. There were moments when you almost broke. When you questioned why things kept happening the way they did. But God says He was watching every tear, every fear, every moment of confusion. You never lost faith even when you were trembling. That is why the angels are speaking urgently today, because your prayers have reached a level where action must occur. Heaven cannot stay silent anymore. God says a shift happened last night. A spiritual knock on the door of your life. Something or someone was exposed in the heavenly realm before it unfolds on earth. Whenever angels say police, they do not mean danger. They mean intervention. They mean spiritual law stepping in. They mean justice descending like light, breaking through a thick fog that refused to clear before. They mean the divine truth is being delivered straight to your doorstep because it is your right to know, your right to be freed, your right to be protected, and your right to rise. God says this urgency is not to scare you but to awaken you. Archangel Michael says you have been too forgiving. Too trusting, too gentle with people who did not deserve your innocence. You saw potential in them while they hid intentions from you. You saw kindness while they showed you masks. You gave love while they carried secrets. But now the angels say the truth is coming with force. Something that was done behind your back is being exposed. Someone who thought they could get away with deception is being confronted by the spiritual police. No one can hide from God's justice. No one can bury truth forever. And no one can interfere with the destiny of someone God has chosen, someone God has shielded, someone God refuses to lose. This is why the angels are speaking so urgently. They need you awake. They need you aware. They need you spiritually alert, not fearful alert, because spiritual information is being delivered to you right now. God says you have been feeling strange energy lately, as if something is shifting, but you can't understand what. You may have felt restless, emotional, or suddenly quiet inside your soul. Those are signs that heavenly forces were already in motion. You sensed the spiritual police long before this message arrived. You felt the approach of divine justice, like a wind brushing against your spirit, whispering that something is coming. God says angels never exaggerate. If the message feels urgent, it is because something monumental is being corrected in your timeline. A situation that was meant to break you is turning around suddenly. Someone tried to speak against you. Someone tried to set something up against you. Someone tried to twist your name. Someone tried to mislead others about who you truly are, but heaven intercepted it. God shut it down, and now the angels stand at your door to tell you that justice has already begun. Archangel Michael says there is someone who underestimated you deeply. Someone who thought your silence meant weakness. Someone who thought your kindness meant blindness. Someone who thought they could manipulate situations around you without consequence. But now the angels have stepped in and the spiritual police are standing at their door. Not your door, theirs. God says the justice that is coming will shock you because it's happening without you having to lift a finger. You didn't have to confront anyone. You didn't have to expose anyone. You didn't have to argue or fight. God is doing it himself. Heaven is handling it. And yet God says your name is being called in this process because you deserve to know. You deserve to be informed. You deserve to be aware of the magnitude of what is unfolding on your behalf. The angels are not warning you of danger. They are informing you of divine activity. They want you to understand that something powerful is happening in the spiritual realm, and it is directly connected to your protection, your elevation, and your next breakthrough. God says there is a blessing behind this revelation. Something you prayed for is finally being cleared. Something that was blocking you is being removed. Something that was weighing you down is being lifted, and something that was delaying your destiny is being eliminated. This is why Archangel Michael stands so firm today. He is serious because he is protecting something sacred, your future. God says you must trust him now more than ever. Even if the situation is invisible to your eyes, it is already unfolding in the unseen realm. Heaven moves long before earth catches up. The angels have already gone ahead of you. The spiritual police have already seized the energy that was against you. The truth has already been brought into the light. And God says you will soon feel a sudden release, as if a heavy burden that you didn't even realize you were carrying is lifted off your shoulders in a single moment. God says someone connected to you thought they could deceive you forever, but their time is up. Someone around you carried a secret that was destined to be exposed. And the moment has arrived. Someone thought they could use your goodness against you, but heaven reversed it. Someone tried to take advantage of you, but God intervened. Someone spoke your name in a dark conversation, but the angels interrupted it. Someone plotted something that would have affected you, but the spiritual police shut it down immediately. Archangel Michael says he chased away the energy that tried to come near your home. He blocked the negativity that tried to enter your life. He destroyed the manipulation that tried to touch your spirit. And he says, you must know this. You are entirely safe. There is no danger coming to you. There is no threat approaching your life. There is no harm that can touch you. Everything happening is God cleansing the path in front of you. God says this moment marks the end of a long spiritual cycle. You have been tested for months. You have been in preparation. You have been reshaped, strengthened, purified. Every hardship, every confusion, every silent night of questioning was preparing you for this moment of revelation. Because God does not expose without purpose. He exposes to free you. He exposes to elevate you. He exposes to align you with destiny. The angels say the police headed toward your door symbolize a delivery of truth, a return of what is rightfully yours, a restoration of your spiritual authority, something that was stolen from your spirit, your peace, your confidence, your life will be returned to you. God says you are entering a season of divine return, divine restoration, and divine justice. You may notice in the next days a sudden clarity in your mind. You may suddenly feel lighter, more aware, more awake. You may have dreams revealing things. You may have conversations that expose people's real intentions. You may see masks fall. You may see truth come out of nowhere. This is not coincidence. This is God revealing everything that was hidden. Archangel Michael says he has been guarding you fiercely, not because danger surrounds you, but because your blessing is so close that it attracts spiritual attention. Whenever you are about to rise, darkness tries one last time to stop you, but it already failed. The attempt didn't even reach your doorstep because the angels intercepted it the moment it formed. God says He allowed you to read this right now because this is divine timing. You were meant to hear this today, you were meant to receive this message in this exact moment. This is not random. This is alignment. Heaven speaks when the soul is ready and when the moment is right. God says the reason the angels emphasize seriousness is because the revelation is important, not harmful. This is the moment where God takes you out of confusion and into clarity, out of fear and into confidence, out of delay and into forward movement. Out of spiritual fog and into divine understanding. The angels say you will feel a shift soon, something opening, something breaking free, something releasing. You may feel a sudden calm, a sudden certainty, a sudden feeling that something heavy has ended. That is the moment the spiritual door opens and God's justice flows into your life like a river. God says you must not worry about the people who were against you. You must not fear anyone's actions. You must not doubt your protection. You are covered entirely. You are surrounded. You are safe. What is coming is not punishment for you. It is deliverance, it is truth. It is freedom. Archangel Michael says he has placed a seal of protection on your home, your spirit, your path, and your destiny. No harm can near you. No negative energy can touch you. No deception can entrap you. You are guarded by divine forces, protected by heavenly law, and guided by the voice of God Himself. God says you are stepping into a chapter where nothing hidden can remain hidden. Everything must come to light. Everything must be corrected. Everything must align. This is your moment of awakening. And as God speaks, he says one more thing with gentle but powerful authority. Nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. You are protected, and I am with you through it all. Trust me. God says this is an urgent message only for you, chosen one. And it comes at a moment when your spirit is ready to understand something that has been happening around you for a very long time. God says He has been watching your heart, your intentions, your struggles, and your quiet prayers that you whispered when no one else saw your pain. He says this message is not to frighten you but to awaken you, to make you aware and to lift you into a place of safety, strength, and divine protection. Archangel Michael steps forward with great seriousness, and he says this moment in your life is extremely important and heaven is not willing to let you miss the truth anymore. He says, angels are saying something that will surprise you, something that will make you pause, something that will open your eyes in a way you didn't expect. They say the police are headed toward you, not to harm you, not to trouble you, not to frighten you, but because something that belonged to you, something connected to your name, something connected to your destiny has been discovered. God says this is not a threat. This is a divine intervention. This is not danger. This is revelation. This is not punishment. This is protection. God says you are safe, shielded, held, guided, covered, and completely wrapped in the power of heaven. Nothing will go wrong with you. For He stands beside you. He says the message you are receiving now is meant to give you clarity, not fear. The angels say you have been walking with a certain confusion, a feeling that something around you is not adding up, as if something is being hidden behind the scenes. You felt this spiritually long before anything happened physically. You sensed energy shifts, sudden intuition, strange dreams, inner alerts, and moments when you felt guided to stay still or step back from certain people. Archangel Michael says you must not ignore what you felt. Heaven confirms that your intuition was correct, and now the physical world is catching up to the truth your soul already knew. God says the reason the police energy is coming into your life spiritually is because something has reached a point of exposure. Something connected to your name, your identity, your destiny, or your past has been uncovered. And the reason angels say police are heading to your door is because divine justice is moving. Justice that has been delayed. Justice that has been blocked. Justice that has been avoided. Justice that has been manipulated by others. God says, what you did not see, He saw. What you did not know, He knew. What you did not understand, He understood fully. And now He is stepping in, not to scare you but to protect you, not to punish you but to free you, not to corner you but to guide you into clarity. Archangel Michael says the presence you feel is not of earthly authority but heavenly authority. The angels are saying that human systems are moving in response to God's timing, not against you, but for you. God says someone tried to place something in your life that was not yours. Someone tried to create confusion around your name. Someone may have spoken something false, signed something without you knowing, involved your identity in something without your permission, or attempted to use your energy, your name, or your connection for their benefit. God says, heaven never allowed the trap to close. The snare was broken before it reached you. The angels say, what was meant to harm your reputation will now lift your reputation. What was meant to create fear will now create testimony. What was meant to create trouble will now create breakthrough. What was meant to limit you will now expand you. God says He has stepped in because your spiritual profile is too important to be touched by the plans of others. Archangel Michael says he has been guarding your home, your sleep, your peace, and your destiny. That is why you have survived situations you didn't even know were dangerous. That is why you made it through pressure that should have broken you. That is why you walked out of situations with strength when others thought you would fall apart. Heaven has been watching you in every moment. And God says He is proud of your spirit because you never let your heart turn dark. Even through hurt, you stayed pure. Even through betrayal, you didn't become cold. Even through disappointment, you didn't turn away from the light. God says because of your purity, your protection is stronger. Because of your heart, your angels are closer. Because of your sincerity, your spiritual authority is higher than you realize. Angels say the reason the police energy is connected to your life is because there is a spiritual investigation taking place. God says this investigation is not earthly. It is heavenly. Heaven is looking into who tried to interfere with your destiny. Heaven is looking into who tried to manipulate your path. Heaven is looking into who attempted to block blessings that were meant for you. Heaven is looking into who brought your name into places where it did not belong. God says the truth is coming, and when it comes you will be relieved, not afraid. He says you will feel lighter, not heavier. He says you will feel free, not trapped. The angels say something that involved your name is being corrected without you having to fight for yourself. God says you have been tired, spiritually tired, emotionally tired. Mentally exhausted from carrying questions that had no answers. You have felt the weight of situations that didn't make sense. You have wondered why certain things kept happening, why you felt blocked, why you felt watched spiritually, why you felt observed by unseen forces, why you felt tension around you. God says it was because there was an energy of interference that was coming from someone connected to your past, someone who did not want to see you rise, someone who tried to complicate your life quietly. Angels say this person did not understand who they were dealing with. They did not understand that you are chosen. They did not understand that heaven monitors every attempt against you. They did not understand that God's hand is over your life so strongly that nothing formed against you can stand. Archangel Michael says he has been battling on your behalf. He says there were moments when you felt sudden anxiety, sudden discomfort, sudden heaviness, and you didn't know why. It was because he was shielding you from energies that were trying to reach you. He says you never went through those moments alone. God says every time you felt unsafe, His angels were standing around you like a wall of fire. Every time you felt confused, the Holy Spirit whispered clarity into your spirit. Every time you felt like someone was watching you spiritually, it was because the truth was surfacing. But God was guarding you. He says He would never let anything break you. The angels say the police symbol in this message represents authority stepping in to correct something. It represents truth coming to the surface. It represents justice arriving at your doorstep. It represents heaven intervening in earthly matters. It represents God protecting your name, your destiny, your path, your future. God says He will not let your name be dragged into places that do not match your character or your spirit. He says, anyone who tried to bring confusion into your life will face divine correction. Not because He wants to punish them harshly, but because He wants to restore balance. God says something powerful is about to happen for you. A shift, a release, a breakthrough, a clearing, a divine reversal. Something that has been stuck around your name is being unstuck. Something that was in darkness is being brought to light. Something that was blocked is being reopened. Something that was hidden is being revealed. Something that was tied is being untied. The angels say the truth is coming to your door. Not danger, not trouble, not harm, but truth. God says when truth arrives, it will feel like a breath of fresh air. You will feel lighter, relieved, protected, and grateful. Archangel Michael says the angels are standing guard over your home right now. He says you are surrounded by spiritual officers of heaven, angels of protection. Angels of justice, angels of truth, angels of breakthrough. He says you must not fear anything. God says you are safe. He says nothing will go wrong with you. He says the situation is under His control. He says you do not need to run, hide, panic or be anxious. He says the purpose of this message is to prepare your spirit so that when the truth arrives, you will understand it instead of fearing it. Angels say someone made a mistake connected to you and now heaven is correcting the mistake. Someone brought your name into something without understanding the consequences. Someone may have spoken something using your name casually. Someone may have involved your identity. God says this is a moment you were never meant to ignore because what is unfolding around you right now is not a coincidence. Not an accident, and not a mistake in the spiritual world. God says He has been preparing your soul for this message. And today He sends Archangel Michael forward with urgency, with seriousness, and with a voice that does not tremble because heaven never trembles when truth must be spoken. Archangel Michael says this is very serious, very important, and you must not ignore this or scroll away or dismiss the signs that have been placed in front of you. What you are feeling in your heart right now, the sudden heaviness, the sudden sense that something big is happening is not fear. God says it is spiritual recognition. Your soul already knows something is shifting. Your spirit already sensed that heaven is moving on your behalf. That is why this message arrived today at this exact second because God wanted you to see it before anything else could distract you. God says that angels have been watching the energies around your home, the movement around your name, and the conversations that have been happening behind closed doors. Archangel Michael says, the angels saw something before you could and that is why they are saying this urgently. Police are headed to your door. Find out why. But God says, before your heart grows heavy or frightened, understand something very important. You are protected. You are covered. And nothing will go wrong with you. God says He is standing in front of you, beside you, and behind you. There is no danger for you. There is no loss waiting for you. There is no harm coming toward you. This message is not a warning of something bad happening to you, but a revelation of something hidden being brought to light for your benefit. Archangel Michael says, what is coming is not punishment. It is justice. God says, you have been in the dark about something for too long. Something that involved your name, your energy, or your reputation. God says someone tried to make you look guilty of something you didn't do or tried to put your name into a situation that you were never part of. And heaven saw it, the angels recorded every moment of it. The truth has been stored spiritually and now it is unfolding physically. God says this is why the police are moving not toward you as a threat but toward the truth that involves you. And God says you must understand you are on the side of light. You are on the side of truth. You are not in any danger. Instead, something you didn't know is about to be exposed for your protection. God says someone attempted to use your name, your information, or your identity, in a way that was not honest. A person who has spoken ill of you or tried to bring drama toward you is now facing consequences for their own actions. And the movement of the police is connected to this. Not to you as the guilty one, but to you as the protected one. Archangel Michael says, the truth that is being uncovered will shock you because it will show you how wrong some people were about you and how far someone went to hide their own mistakes by pushing blame onto you. But God says their plan has failed, heaven stopped it before it could hurt you. The angels intercepted their intentions and now the only thing unfolding, snorts, is the truth, the exposure, and the clearing of your name. God says He is giving you this message so that fear does not enter your heart. You have nothing to be afraid of, nothing to feel anxious about, nothing to worry about. You are safe. You are protected. You are wrapped in light. God says all you need to do is trust Him, remain calm, and let the truth unfold without resistance. When God moves, He moves with purpose. When angels intervene, they intervene because justice must be served. And this is one of those moments where heaven is saying, be still. Watch. The truth is coming out. And it will free you. Archangel Michael says, someone has been carrying guilt about something involving you, but instead of admitting the truth, they tried to hide behind lies or silence. This person knows what they did. Heaven knows what they did. And the spiritual world has been waiting for the right moment to expose it. God says the police movement is connected to the exposure of this person's actions. They may not have expected accountability to come so quickly, but when God decides that the truth must come forward, nothing can stop it. Not their fear, not their excuses, not their attempts to delay the consequences. God says your name is being cleared. Your reputation is being protected. Your spirit is being defended by angels. God says this is also a moment where He is strengthening you. For too long you have carried worry about what people think of you, about misunderstandings, about the way certain situations have unfolded. God says no more. Today He is lifting that weight off your heart. Today He is sending angels to remove the impression of guilt that someone tried to put on you. Today He is saying I am with you. Nothing will go wrong. You are safe. This is not a message of fear. It is a message of divine reassurance. Archangel Michael says, your intuition has been telling you for weeks, maybe, even months, that something was off. Something felt strange. Something didn't add up. You felt like there were conversations happening behind your back or decisions being made without your knowledge. You felt a spiritual heaviness as if someone was interfering with your energy. God says you were right to feel those things because your spirit sensed the truth even when your mind did not yet understand. But now that truth is coming out and God says He will not allow anyone to tarnish your name or damage your spirit. The angels say the police movement is not an attack but a confirmation. A confirmation that the truth is surfacing. A confirmation that the person who tried to distort your name is not getting away with it. A confirmation that justice is being served by divine order. God says He has always been watching. He has always been protecting you. Even when you felt alone, even when you felt misunderstood, even when you felt like no one saw your truth, God saw. God knew. And God is now acting. God says the reason He is giving you this message so urgently is because He knows your heart. He knows you deeply. He knows how easily you begin to worry when things are unclear. He knows you carry emotional weight even when you pretend to be strong. He knows you internalize fear silently. But God says you do not have to be afraid. You do not have to stress. You do not have to imagine the worst. You do not have to panic. God says everything is working in your favor. Everything is unfolding for your protection. Even the movement of the police is part of God's divine plan to defend you, not to harm you. Archangel Michael says you must prepare your heart to receive clarity, not confusion, to receive relief, not fear. To receive truth, not misunderstanding. He says, do not imagine danger when heaven is sending protection. God is moving obstacles out of your way. He is removing false accusations. He is stopping lies. He is silencing those who spoke wrongly. He is exposing what someone tried to hide. And He is doing all of this because He loves you and because He has chosen to protect you in this moment. God says someone underestimated the spiritual protection around you. They underestimated your connection to God. They underestimated the angels that walk with you. They underestimated the favor that surrounds you, and now they are facing the consequences of their choices. God says you are not responsible for their actions. You are not tied to their guilt. You are not going to suffer because of their mistakes. Their actions belong to them. The truth belongs to heaven and the protection belongs to you. God says that as this truth unfolds, you will begin to understand why He kept you away from certain people, certain conversations, certain meetings, certain decisions. You may have felt excluded or ignored at times. But God says it was protection, not rejection. He was keeping you safe from being entangled in the web someone else was weaving. And now that web is breaking apart completely. God says you must breathe deeply and release worry. You must trust Him fully. You must believe that what is happening is meant to liberate you, not frighten you. You must remember that every angel is standing with you. Archangel Michael says he is holding a sword of truth and standing guard at your door. No harm can enter. No negative force can cross the threshold. No darkness can overcome the light that surrounds you. God says the truth will be revealed soon. And when it comes, you will feel a release in your spirit. You will feel lighter, you will feel more grounded. You will feel protected. You will recognize that God was with you all along. You will see clearly the intentions of the person involved, and you will understand that what felt confusing or stressful before was actually a path leading you to clarity. God says you must pray and stay connected to Him during this time. Not because you are in danger, but because prayer strengthens your spirit. Prayer keeps your heart aligned with truth. Prayer helps you remain calm while heaven works on your behalf. God says your faith is the key that unlocks peace in moments like this. And the more you trust Him, the faster the truth will manifest visibly. Archangel Michael says you are not alone for a single second. He is walking with you. He is guarding you. He is fighting for you. He is protecting your name, your home, your spirit, your path. And he says the thought of you being afraid breaks his heart because he knows how protected you really are. He knows nothing can touch you. He knows the truth is already unfolding, in your favor. God says in the next few days there will be a moment when you receive unexpected clarity, whether through communication, a message, a conversation, or a shift in energy. And at that moment you will remember this message. You will feel gratitude, relief, and a deep sense of peace. You will say, God knew. God warned me. God protected me. And you will realize you were never alone. God says, let go of fear. Let go of worry. Let go of the worst-case scenarios your mind tries to create. He is with you. He is protecting you. He is surrounding you with angels. Nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. You are covered. You are chosen. You are defended. And this message came to you because God wanted you to know the truth before anything else reached you. God says breathe and trust Him completely. Everything unfolding now is for your protection. No harm will come to you. Only truth, clarity, and divine justice. God says this is an urgent moment for your spirit. And even though your heart has been heavy and your thoughts have been restless, I am placing my hand over you right now, calming every storm trying to rise inside you. Archangel Michael stands next to you and he says with deep seriousness that this message is not something you should ignore or skip. He speaks with a clarity that cuts through all confusion. And he says, the angels have gathered around your home, around your heart, around your path, because something important is unfolding that you are meant to know, but nothing is coming to harm you. Instead, what is approaching is clarity, truth, and protection. When the angels say police are headed to your door, they are speaking about a divine authority. A spiritual intervention, not an earthly threat. This is heaven's way of saying that order is coming into your life, that justice is stepping forward, that something in your life that has been out of balance is being corrected in your favor. You are safe.